Well, hello everyone, and welcome to HoGaLe's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. They are interchangeable. Okay, this is the next installment of Thursday Fry Up, which have all come to love. And thank you everyone so much for supporting the show and being here with me this evening. I see quite a few of you are in already. And my goodness, fascinating questions, really cool questions that you guys have asked. Very international this evening, very international. So to give you a little overview, we've got some questions from the USA. So the USA ones, we're going to be looking at the wealthy and the rich and whether or not justice will ever come. P Diddy has come up. What else? And if we get round to it, voting rights and stuff like that. But we also have Panama to discuss. We have to discuss Russia, the UK, and of course, Argentina and the Dutch. The recent Dutch elections as well has proved to be a bit of a surprise for a few people, because you've got what is being said to be I don't know that much about him, a far right candidate, and we'll look at anti-Islam, I think, something like that. But we'll read, I don't know anything. I've only found out about the Dutch elections today. I've been busy with consultations, of course, spending time with my clients and stuff. In fact, let me give a quick shout out to Deborah, Margaret, and Barbara. Three of my clients today. You know who you are. Mwah! Much love. And for those of you that might be curious about Vedic astrology and what it's like to have your chart done by a neo-Vedic astrologer. Obviously, I do tarot and I do archetypes as well. But if you want something different and something really in depth, just read the reviews and stuff from clients. It really is something. It really is something different. My offer of 25% off all my consultations is still on. So a lot of you have gone for it. I think November and December, I think I've sold out, I think. But January is not yet far away. Have a little look. It's in the video description below. Please as well, before we begin, don't forget to, of course, like and subscribe and share and press the bell notification so you'll know when my videos are up. And if you've not had a chance, I want to say thank you as well to everyone for the amazing feedback on the little video. I did a video on the yugas, which is the cycle of the development of human consciousness over a period of 24,000 years. That might sound a bit dry to some, but many of you who've watched that video have really enjoyed it. And thank you for sharing your comments and your praise for it, because it's something different. You know, we're always talking about duck l'orange, aren't we? Duck l'orange, duck l'orange. And it is exhausting, and it is bombardment, and it's saturation. It's still very important, but there is a lot of stuff going on in the world. And as you know, with Thursday Fry Up, it really is a fry up. It really is an eclectic mix. All right, folks. So are you ready? Well, in fact, why I say, are you ready? Let's dive in. Let's get stuck in. But before I begin, who is in the house here? So everyone, we've got a few people jumping in here. Oh, who's this? I don't know this face before. Wayne Rich. Hello, Wayne. Thank you for joining. We have Teresa Campbell. Hello, Teresa. Oh, who's this? Arlene Hockner. My friend who is Dutch and relocated back to the Netherlands after years being in the US is not happy about how the election panned out. So Arlene, we're gonna have a good old dig. Yeah, we're gonna have a good old dig and just see what's going on with the energies. I've been busy today, of course, with clients, so I've only had a chance to really kind of check kind of like one source, radio. I think it's LBC. Radio over here in the UK, but it's a podcast, so you'll get videos, and they have a Dutch expert talking about what's happened. So I've got a little bit of blurb for people, but I don't have much depth of knowledge on this particular subject because I've only just found out the news myself. However, I'm preaching to the choir here, but many of you know who've been following my channels for a while. What have I been saying? I've been saying Pluto is in sidereal Capricorn. Pluto is what? The underbelly of everything. Pluto, when it's in Capricorn, which is the sign of what? Government, rules, regulations, tends to swing to the right. We tend to get a more of a far right or more fascistic attitude tends to happen in global politics. And as you can see, sadly, a lot of this is bearing out. We also need to talk about Argentina, of course. Anyway, who else is in? And then we're going to get stuck in with the show. So I'm actually going back in time here. I'm scrolling further up the chat. Patricia, nice to see you. Who's this here? Oh, Deb Marsh. Oh, hello and happy Thanksgiving. I forgot to say. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Look. The world may feel like it's falling apart, but you know what? There is still time for turkey, yeah, pecan pie. What's the other kind of stuff that you eat? I love the Thanksgiving food. Oh my God, it practically will give you a heart attack. I love the turkey. You've got sweet. You've got, what is it? You've got sweet potato pie is one, isn't it? Then there's oh gosh, there's all the other stuff, all of the trimmings, all of the gravies, all of the cakes, all of the indulgence. So I hope that you guys are having a decadent and over the top and belly filled Thanksgiving. If not, and you've just got a little side of turkey and all that stuff, then I wish you blessings as well. And I hope you know, have a better Christmas and stuff like that. What times to be around? Oh, what's this here? This is Melody Le Monde, not lemonade. That mistake I made. Le Monde. I really want to have Thanksgiving in Australia. It's not as though there's nothing to be grateful for. Indeed, indeed. Angela, nice to see you. You are here and many more. Right. Let's begin. So this is a HoGaLe question. So as you know, I often do one or two HoGaLes as well that weren't able to be asked in the previous show because I want to make sure that everyone gets something in. And this is from last week or a couple of weeks ago? You know what? I can't remember. So much happens these days, isn't it? It's extraordinary. Anyway, this is coming from @Mitz, and they ask, will we ever see a time when the wealthy and well-connected are subjected to the same laws as common folk? Too often we see the privileged few game the system and avoid justice. Hear, hear. Yes, hear, hear. Oh my goodness, the world is full of injustice and iniquity. But I think what has become clear, not only in America, but all around the world, is that, of course, money can buy you a different treatment in the justice system. It allows you to obfuscate, delay, and do all of this stuff. I mean, look at everything with Duck L'Orange, which is just outrageous, really. Look, this is really, we all know this. I wasn't meaning to talk about Trump, but since we're talking about wealthy elites and stuff, even though he's not nearly as rich as he would like us to believe, but look what his wealth and fame and celebrity has been able to do for him over the years. Look, even now, he should just be in jail. Yeah, he's broken his gag orders or whatnot, which just seem like loose shoelaces to me. I mean, look, I don't want to diss it too much because, you know, I don't want this to seem like some kind of America bash. But come on, we all know that Duck L'Orange should be in jail. Now, of course, he is starting to become crispy around the edges, as we know. Yeah, so I call him Crispy Duck L'Orange now. But he's being able to spew too much of his bile and his poison, and then, you know, and then he's doing his kind of dark circus, which is drawing everyone in. And of course, the media on all stripes can't get enough of this guy because he's what? Eyeballs for screens, which means money for advertising. Even Facebook are beginning to be seduced once more by the Trump bandwagon because obviously he's got money to grift and spend and they want a bit of that ad money. Anyway, but look how he's been able to avoid justice for all of this time. So let's ask the question to the cards. If ever, let's see what is it again? Will we ever see a time when the wealthy and well-connected are subjected to the same laws as common folk. Too often we see the privileged few game the system and avoid justice. And that's from Mitz. Thank you for your question. Oh, look at that. What leapt out? Oh. You see how spirit works? Look what leapt out. The card of wealth. Look, you saw it for yourselves. You see, spirit's tuning in. All right, so that symbolizes the whole reading. All right, let me pull the camera down and get stuck on. Get on with this show. I've got a lot of your questions to attend. I'm going to see if I can squeeze in 8. If I don't get too carried away, because we're really pinging around the whole world tonight, as well as the USA. All right. Will the wealthy elite ever receive the same justice as common folk? Or will it be the same as always? Let's have a look. Let's see what the cards have to say. Oh, look. Well. This is very interesting. All right. So we know the context of the whole question is what about the wealthy elite? Yeah, this is the card that fell out, which is really talking. What is this card? It's about luxury, having absolutely everything that you want. Every need and desire is met. The shadow of this card can literally also deal with prostitution as well, in terms of potentially selling out, prostituting oneself or one's values for the sake of money as well. Yeah, so quite relevant, isn't it, when we read both interpretations? If we look here into the reading proper, look, we have the 10 of Cups, which is also known as the smug merchant. So this quite literally can deal with the wealthy elite. Sitting there, we can buy whoever we want. We can do whatever we want. If there are any legalities to face, we will buy people off, or we will gum up the system, make it go slower, as we've seen with Duck L'Orange. However, I think the energy is starting to change. If we look here, some of the wealthy elite and stuff are starting to worry a bit. Because guess what? If Duck L'Orange, well, he's starting to face accountability, but imagine, say, for example, we know Duck L'Orange is in for losing a lot of money. He's going to lose at least 250 million, isn't he, in the New York case? All the New York case is doing is establishing how much. Could be more. Could be 300 million, 350 million. It could be 500 million. It could be $500 million. It could be billions. Who knows? But guess what? This prosecution of Trump, I think, is starting to make some of the wealthy elite worry a little bit. Because if they get him, what does it mean for them? Because, of course, he still has the status of being a former president. Yeah. So maybe they're slightly uneasy. Maybe they're not feeling quite so smug after all. What is it they fear? They themselves fear being reduced to poverty. But also as well, I think this is talking about ordinary people who are just struggling to get by. We know there's a huge cost of living crisis. And yes, on the news, it will say, America has one of the lowest interest rates, inflation rates, which technically it does. But what we all need to understand with inflation, as we know, the prices go up faster than they come down. So even if the inflation rate is at 4%, but if they've gone up 23 or 30% in the previous 2 years, then them only going up by 4% means that price is still high. It's just going up slower. It's the same in the UK. We're still running technically, according to the news, at 6%. But at a certain point, we had prices, food prices in the UK that were over 20% inflation. So in a way, this is telling a story. This is showing what the wealthy fear. They fear being impoverished. This is why they're holding on to money. But this can also be the people that are struggling to get by. But this is also as well that sense of people are suffering unnecessarily because of what? All of the price gouging, the profiteering and all that stuff, which is a lot of what the wealthy or the certain companies are doing. Now, look, if someone's rich and wealthy, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily a bad person, but we're talking about the energy. Yeah, more people are going without because the elites at the top aren't having to pay as much tax because of what? Certain policies, particularly that the GOP have brought in, but they're not the only ones. Anyway, Looky here. What do they fear? They fear losing their position, being stabbed in the back, falling. Yeah, falling from grace. They're worried that everyone has it in for them. And they kind of sort of do in a way. But people want to see what a change. Remember, tens of swords are about completion, about ending, something reaching its culmination, a bit like the world card. And then when we look here, we see the walking away. Yeah, we see the walking away. And I think maybe this is an element of a lot of people kind of maybe wanting to walk away from some of those lavish lifestyles, maybe want to live a little bit more discreetly. I also think as well, this could mean as well that if Duc Larange goes down, which he potentially and really should do, there might be others in the firing line. And I think that's what they fear. So you might have some people leaving the country, leaving America to go to other places. But overall, I would say it looks like, yes, there might be more accountability in the future, but we will have to see. Yeah, okay, so that's a HoGaLe done. And let's move over to the next page. I've literally run out of water here. All right, now let's see who else is in. Oh, got a star here. See here. Oh, I've got a new member. Hello. Let me click on here. Thank you. Jira, how do I say that? Gilrain, I think. You've just become a member. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for the support, and I hope you like the content as well. You've got all my astrology courses are on there. My what is it? My fame and infamy deep dives are on there. There's all sorts of juicy content. So if anyone wants a bit extra, you know what to do. You can sign up. Who else do we have here? We've got Foggy. I made a frozen chocolate pie with whipped cream and caramel drizzle. Oh, that sounds divine. Wow. Let's see here. Thanks so much for that. People saying hello to each other in the chat. Who else is here? All right. So the chat, as you know, with my chat. Oh, yes. Foggy saying we're stuffed. Oh, Wayne saying cranberry sauce. Oh, that's it. Pumpkin pie. So yeah, there's pumpkin pie, but some people also have sweet potato pie as well. Oh, stuffy and cranberry sauce. Someone's gone for green bean casserole. Oh, my mouth is watering. What else? And then someone says, hey, well, I managed to get to alive. Well done. Thank you, Hascape. All right, let's dive into the next question. So now we're going in the esoteric aeroplane and we're going to Panama. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to go here tonight. So let's have a look, see what's going on there. All right, so this question has come in from A. Jodane. Forgive me if I've butchered that. Anyway, they say, we are now entering the second month of nationwide protests in Panama. It is not getting international press coverage, but involves a Canadian mining company. Ooh, and overall corruption. Will there be a peaceful resolution? Thank you. Oh, pardon. Let's have a look at that. And as you know, guys, when it comes to this show and stuff, most of the time I'm doing cold reads. I wasn't expecting to read on Holland today, which I'll do later. I wasn't expecting to read on Panama. But it's an education, isn't it? And that's why I love bringing this international element so we can see what else is going on. All right. Will there be a peaceful resolution in Panama? Let's have a look, see how I'm doing on time. Oh. Pull the camera down. Will there be a peaceful resolution in Panama? Well. This is very interesting. All right. So if we look here, oh, there's 281 of you right now. Thank you. Thanks for joining me, folks. Much appreciated. Mwah! Big love. I'm sure more of you will pile in. All right, Panama. Look at the current situation. Yeah, people are feeling tied up, bound up, as if they're taken hostage, prisoner. But it's awkward. There is an element as well here with the Eight of Swords where it comes to a person getting themselves into that situation on a certain level. Now, of course, I don't think this is the ordinary people who are just like, yay, we want corruption. No, not at all. This could be more to do with the decisions that the government of Panama may have made in regards to this company. I have no clue about what this company is or does. The person just wrote a Canadian company, yeah? So I don't know. I'm literally just reading and seeing what Spirit has to say. So the people or the government in some ways feeling trapped by the situation. You can see it's very awkward. Now, in the second card position of a 5-card spread, you guys know that this can often be the obstacle card. Now, if we look here, what's turned up here is temperance. Now, temperance is about what? Trying to find a balance, trying to perform a kind of a nice alchemy, a blend. Yeah, trying to bring different elements together. Yeah, because you can see that here demonstrated by the angel here putting the liquid, and actually the liquid is said to be going up into the cup. So it's this up and backwards and forwards and this blending, trying to find peace and balance. You can see here the foot is in the water, which is also talking about intuition and spirituality. But this is turned up in the obstacle position. So it means there's a struggle for balance. The chemistry is not quite working. The two sides may not be talking very well. And there's an element here where the chemistry is not quite working. So this could be maybe between the contract that the company has, but there has to be a reason why the people are protesting. So obviously something's not working out. If we look here in the middle of the reading, we have the King of Swords. Oh, 300 of you now. We have the King of Swords here in the middle. And of course, what is the King of Swords all about? It's about a sharp intellect, a sharp intellectual. It's usually a man, but not always, because we can't get too fixated on the gender of the card. But if we're looking here, this is talking about legalities as well, legal kind of moves. I often associate as well swords with accounting as well, contracts, legal structures, that kind of stuff. Swords does have a lot to do with that because they deal with the realm of the mind. So this means there's some kind of dispute in regards to the contract and maybe the way the company is behaving that is causing these legal ramifications in some kind of way. We look here, we have the Death card. Now, the death doesn't always mean literal death, of course, but it does mean transformation. We look here in the card, we see that you've got the Pope who is pleading for the king's life, but the king has already succumbed. Yeah. Here he is, his crown's fallen off, and that's his wife and child there, pleading for mercy, but the relentless change comes anyway. So there is a sense of maybe the people want a rebirth in Panama. They just want things to change. This is why they're protesting and stuff like that. And it's not getting much coverage on the news because there's so much gargantuan drama, of course, going on everywhere else. It seems that no one's reporting on Panama. When we look on the outcome card, here we see the Four of Pentacles. So there could be someone's worried about losing money. Yeah, someone's worried about losing money here. You can see here in the positive iteration of this card is about being prudent with one's finances. Yeah, but this can also mean stinginess as well, wanting to fight, wanting to hold on, not wanting to share. So there could be an element here where either it's to do with the contract. I don't know. I wish I knew more about this company. I don't know anything about it. But all I can do is read the cards, as you know, is in an unbiased way as possible. So this would suggest maybe the company's not wanting to lose money, but also as well, likely the government as well, maybe trying to save face, reputation, values and stuff like that. So it might end up being a fudge in the end. And maybe some kind of compromise might be reached eventually because of the Temperance card. But I think it's probably going to require some kind of transformation, some kind of change to the laws, perhaps. and the government or the company are going to try and hold on in some kind of way. So we'll have to see what happens there. So let's scribble that. Right, now let's go back to America and let's talk about P Diddy. Now, I don't know what's been going on, but there's been allegations made against P Diddy, and I think this was also connected with R. Kelly as well. I Believe I Can Fly, that guy. And that, what I understand, there's been serious allegations of sexual assault and stuff like that. I don't normally like reading on such questions because they can be quite triggering, but this one is a slightly different perspective. Anyway, so this is coming from Coco Cooks. Coco Cooks. Will Sean P. Diddy Combs suffer in his career and legally despite settling with his accuser and the NDAs, so non-disclosure, yeah? Will more come to light following the allegations? So let's have a look. So it seems he's settled out of court, you know, it's a payoff. Certainly doesn't lack money, old P. Diddy. I think he might be a billionaire, actually. If he's not, I mean, he's probably almost certainly by now. He's been extremely successful for a very long time. But as we know, as many female artists in particular have spoken about the music industry, there are sadly a lot of men that are very predatory in that environment, similar to things like in Hollywood. And if you're a very powerful producer, in fact, a lot of these guys go to these places because they want to have a chance at, you know, young, talented and beautiful women. Oh, that's interesting. 2 cards just fell out, and I think I'm going to have to take those. Let's pull another 3. Oh my God, it's very interesting how those fell out. All right, let's pull another 3 cards, particularly the second card. Anyway, so how will this affect P. Diddy going forward? Will there be more revelations? Will it affect his career? Let's have a look, see. And then we're going to look a bit at Russia and stuff, and a bit of Putinshka and... okay, here we are. This describes the situation, yeah, where he wasn't sure which choice to make, but also as well, look here with the 2 of Swords, the person is blindfolded. So that can also mean a certain truth that someone doesn't want to look at or doesn't want to see. I think this is also as well speaking about what? P. Diddy's reputation, yeah, his reputation, not wanting people to see certain stuff about his past, yeah, or about his true character. And the giveaway, remember these 2 cards fell out of the shuffle. The giveaway is the second card, which is technically the obstacle card. And look what it is. It's Strength, yeah, Major Arcana. And you might think, oh, but that's a pretty good card. However, when the card in the second position can also be considered reversed. And guess what? Strength reverse can often refer to someone who has a bestial nature or struggles to control their impulses, their animal impulses. How interesting. Now, of course, he's settled out of court, and, you know, I guess we have to say allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only. But this shows that he has acted in ways that are less than noble. Let's put it that way. That's probably the most gloss I can put on it. But of course, he's settled. He's paid the money. So it means the allegations were most likely true. But again, for entertainment purposes only. But this card here really does actually reveal it for me. How will it go with his career? He's wanting to what? Move to smoother waters. Here it is, the 6 of Swords, as you can see here. So he wants to put this whole thing behind him, which is what the whole payment was about. If we look here, we've got the 4 of Swords. So Swords, again, remember, Swords deal a lot with the mind. This is about being wounded in battle, yeah? So this is P. Diddy kind of, you know, reflecting and just being like, bloody hell, I had to shell out some kind of money there for my previous deeds, yeah? Not controlling himself. But the outcome, though, here we can see it's the 10 of Pentacles, which is what? The legacy card, money, plenty of cash, all generations and stuff like that. So in terms of what he paid out, it was probably a fraction of his total wealth. I think he is a billionaire now, and I think he's going to try and put the whole situation behind him. So will his career carry on? Most likely, yeah, because we see already how the rich and powerful, in regards to, especially with the first question, are able to do what? Buy people off. Yeah, buy people off, delay, etc. So there you are. You can see you've got the 10 of Pentacles as the outcome card. Let's see who else is in the house. And then we've got a question from Russia, for Russia. So let's see here. Okay, people saying hello to everyone. Let's see here. And let's see here. So glad to be joined with the community / family on this Thanksgiving holiday. Yeah, it's lovely as well to have you here. It's making me think of turkey now. I wonder if I should go and buy some turkey for myself. Let's have a look. Oh, look at this. H.R. Williams, turkey, ham, dressing with gravy, mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce, green beans, greens, various pies and cakes. Tomorrow, turkey sandwiches. Oh, fabulous, fabulous. So, some people have got here sweet pies, not savory like Cornish pies. Lovely. Let's just see here. Deb Marsh said it's too expensive for most to play the games, 45 plays in the legal system. Yeah, I mean, you'd just be basically bankrupted. I mean, their hourly fees are just astonishing, aren't they? See here. Oh, thank you so much for your donation. So you've become a member and you've donated. That is fabulous. Thank you so much. Gil Ren. I hope I've said that properly. Thank you. That's amazing. Right, let's talk about Russia. Please continue to share. And if you guys are watching this later on, because obviously this is a live, let me know what you had for Thanksgiving, because many of you will, of course, be eating and getting stuck in. I'm surprised that there's quite a few of you here tonight. So let's talk now about Russia. Okay, so Kathy A. Molsh has asked, hi, Hoagie. Inside Russia says, so Inside Russia is, from what I understand, a news media outlet which deals with Russian news. Inside Russia says that Nikolai Patrushev, SEC of the Security Council, ordered Russian governors to prepare to transition to a mobilization economy, aka war. It's unusual to see him in public, let alone direct governors. Is he the acting president since rumors of Putin's heart attack? Great question. Great question. Let's see what the cards have to say about that. I'm intrigued. Now, as we know, there's been lots of speculations and this, that, and the other. Now, do you remember oh God, this has been a while ago. Oh, it's probably over a year ago now. And of course, many more people have joined since. But you will see in my readings where I was talking about how from the back end of 2022 going into 2023, that Putin was going to have some serious health issues. His health was already bad anyway, but I feel like his consciousness is still hanging on, unless he's obviously been shown on Russian TV, in which case, can just, move on. But if he's still not shown up in person with a recent video, then we know something's not right. Yeah. But let's see what the cards have to say. Look, another jumper. All right. That will symbolize what the reading is about. Is Putin still in charge, or is he either drinking chicken soup somewhere or barely holding on to this realm? Let's see what the cards say. If we get dramatic cards like Death or the Tower, or even the Six of Swords for moving on, we'll see. If we get the Empress card, then we know that's my Russia card. And the Seven of Swords, the thieving one. Let's see what Spirit has to say. And just remind myself. Is he the acting president since rumors of Putin's heart attack? Let's have a look. And that's in regards to Nikolai Patrushev. Thanks for the question. Is he the acting president? Is Putinshka holed up in bed somewhere with tubes coming out of him? Let's see. Spy in the camp. Well, well, well. Oh, okay. This is interesting, folks. This is interesting. All right. What do we have here? This was the card that jumped out. Remember, look, we've got the Two of Pentacles, which is about what? Juggling things, trying to manipulate a situation, trying to keep the balls in the air. In many ways, this can talk about Putin himself, but this could also talk about his administration. So something's not quite right. Yeah, there's a lot of juggling. And remember, in the background here, this is what? The stormy seas, the tumultuous seas. So maybe the rumors they might have some weight to them. Either way, people are having to literally juggle, yeah, to maintain a situation. Next card that we see in the reading proper, we have the Page of Swords. Now, this can sometimes be referred to as the spy in the camp, but let's not forget, pages are all about messages as well. So this is something, this is literally what someone coming out with what? Aggressive messaging. Using the words, what is said here, Kathy said, Nikolai Patrushev, SEC of the Security Council, ordered Russian governments to prepare to transition to a mobilization economy, aka war. So you can see this young page here is ready for conflict, and pages are about messages. So this is literally about a message about war. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? However, look at the obstacle card. It's the Fool card. So the Fool has many different connotations. It can mean taking a leap of faith, innocence, naivety, going forth into the world with a sense of wonder and awe. But also as well, this can literally mean foolishness, clumsiness, doing something dumb, being heedless for the consequences of what may happen if one should drop off the mountain without looking. And the dog is barking, saying, "Are you sure?" Some say that the dog is giving the companionship, but some say the dog is warning, in which case I think this is a dog warning here. And I think this is a foolish move. Why? Because there's not many men of fighting age of Russian descent left in Russia anymore. Many of them have what? Left. This could be talking about the youth or the ones that were able to. This could also talk about some of the mercenaries as well that Russia has been bringing in, particularly from places like Cuba and stuff like that, and African nations and stuff like that. So this is looking like a foolish statement. How's this going to bolster things? But in the fact that it's even happened is obviously probably making people speculate who's in charge. If we look here, it looks like this governor is in charge for the moment. Yeah, this Patrushev. Yeah, this would be him here. Wands, of course, king is the king, so obviously leadership. Wands deals with passion, even aggression. Here, this is the little salamander showing this king's intuition, and it also deals with eternity and rebirth. So they're trying to keep the continuity of the story going. That's what this announcement, I think, is about, trying to distract by everyone might be saying, where is Putin? But I don't know. Let me know if he's turned up on national TV. In any case, big choices to be made. Look, we've got the Lovers here, and this always talks not just about romance and stuff like that. This is really about important choices, choices of gravitas. This also deals with treaties and negotiations and stuff like that. We see what's going on with the whole wide world. But if Putin is in trouble, yeah, with this dropout card that fell out, trying to balance the situation, it's obviously there's key choices and decisions that are being made behind the scenes, yeah, which this guy is having to take, because Putin normally turns up either as the empress or one of the queens or the emperor. This is a king, not quite the same. So I think he's talking about this Patrushev. But looky here at the outcome card, Wheel of Fortune. What this says is that the situation is probably out of a lot of people's control. I don't think Putin is fully in control. I don't think this guy is fully in control either. Even if Putin is still alive, which I suspect he is, but maybe only just. It shows a lot of stuff is changing in Russia. So as remember too as well, the nodes will change on the 29th of November. We don't have long, guys. Rahu and Ketu will change signs in the sidereal astrology. Rahu is going to go into sidereal Pisces. Ketu is going to go into sidereal Virgo. Yeah. Now remember, according to Vedic astrology, Putin is a Libra rising, and Ketu has just gone through his first house, which is snip, snip. But he's also got quite a few planets in Virgo as well, if I remember correctly. So you never know. You know, old Ketu is probably going to do some things. We'll have to see. Let's go back to America and let's take a look. Where is it? Ah, is this the one? All right, let's take a look at this is Crystal Dragon Woman. Yeah, thank you so much for your question. So super, what a great way to digest a Thanksgiving gratitude meal. So here she's put USA question. What will happen to the Voting Rights Act after a 3-panel federal appeals court rules private plaintiffs can't sue? Is it a blow to the Voting Rights Act? Oh my God. Oh God, there seems to be a limitless supply of douchebaggery, doesn't there? And these legal things, because you know what? They're an absolute bunch of crackpots. Remember, they've got their Mission 25, yeah, where they want to pass all this legislation if Duck L'Orange gets in. And it's going to be worse than A Handmaid's Tale, I can tell you that. And, you know, all of these independent bodies with vast sums, trying and manipulating. So how will this affect the Voting Rights Act, potentially? Let's have a look-see. Yeah. Oh man. Well, not great. That's what these cards are saying. Gosh, guys, I wish I could be a bit more optimistic on this one. So I'll read the question again. What will happen to the Voting Rights Act after 3-panel federal appeals court rules private plaintiffs can't sue? Is it a blow to the Voting Rights Act? Well, look here. What do we have? 5 of Cups. Yeah, so a great disappointment. Yeah, it's probably likely to have a bit of a negative impact. Sorry about that, you know, but as you guys know, I just read the cards. So yes, this could have a disappointing impact. If we look here, we've got the Ace of Wands in the second position. Now look, aces are normally really positive, yeah, but this has turned out in the obstacle. The Ace of Wands is normally about fresh new beginnings, fresh starts. Do you see here how all these leaves are growing out of this wand? This wand is alive. Yeah, it could be planted in the ground and turn into a tree. So it's about progress, moving forward in bold new ways. But this has turned out what? In the obstacle position. So we can see it reversed in this way. So this, even in a way, this is almost like the opposite energies of that. It is not this kind of stride forward, this bold new, brave new world, so to speak. It's almost like this ruling is to stop that energy, to stop the Voting Rights Act being bolstered in some kind of ways, to stop people, you know, basically coming up as individual plaintiffs. Yeah. So this in many ways is like what? An act of betrayal. So if we see here, 10 of Swords is back again. So really, this is a stab in the back for voters. Quite literally, we can take a literal interpretation on that. What else can it mean? They're trying to weaken it. what's going on? People are collaborating behind the scenes, yeah, to try and bring these things forward. They're trying to stretch out as long as they can. All of the thingy bobs with Duck Larange, trying to get him into next year. This is a concerted effort, folks, by, oh, I forget some of the names of those institutions that are behind all of this. So, you know, the Federalist Society and the like. But it's more than that. This is a collaboration. This can also mean dark money. This is a collaboration between the judiciary and maybe malign influences there. Remember that Pluto in Capricorn that I'm always talking about. So you can see they're in cahoots, the SOBs, to what? Impoverish the voter. So look, we've got the poverty card back again. They wish to disenfranchise and try and stop recourse, proper kind of either political, financial, or whatever kind of recourse. They're literally trying to weaken and impoverish the Voting Rights Act. Sorry, wish I could say more there, but as you know, I just have to read the cards. I must read the cards and what I see. It's my job to read those energies. So let's cross through that one. Here we are. That was question number 8, actually. Let's look at the Dutch elections, and then we're going to have to take a look at Javier Melei in Argentina. Right. So, actually, look, this is another question from Crystal Dragon Woman. I didn't realize. So she says, saddened by the Dutch election results, pardon me, of extreme / far right candidates winning. What does this say about the rest of Europe and the EU? So we'll look at that. But when I just tuned in, just to get a little bit of a background research, I wanted to give a little bit of an update. So the candidate who appears to have won the election is a man called Geert Wilders. Geert Wilders. So GEERT WILDERS. Well, of course, the Dutch and Germans say pronounce W as a V. So Wilders. Apparently, he's been in politics for 25 years. So, you know, he's been around for a while. The thing I noticed was his hair. Quite very interesting, strange hair. I didn't get a proper look at him, but I was like, what is that? Looked like something, you know, from the Addams Family. And then there's the uncle who's Count Dracula. It looked kind of coiffed, kind of sort of Liberace kind of style. But you know what it's like when it comes to those on the extremes. They've either got weird hair, or they're orange, or they're purple, or something strange like that. Anyway, so his thing is the PVV, which I think stands for the Freedom Party. And he's got 25% of the vote thus far. It could be more. I'm not sure if they're still counting, but that's what I heard on the radio station. So don't quote me too much on that. It could have changed, yeah? Only just getting the story. Apparently, he's quite anti-Islam, and he believes all the mosques should be taken down and stuff like that. You know, there you are, these characters. And he's a bit of a firebrand. Apparently, the caretaker government is still there. And it would take about 3 months for a new government to be formed. And they're saying this has more come from the more rural vote. They were saying in the cities, much less people voted for him. So it's a mixed bag. But again, it's people feeling left behind and, you know, all of this stuff. But let's see, what does this say about the rest of the Europe and the EU? Now, one thing I do have to add with the EU that some of you may or may not know is that there are some proposing of individual states losing their veto. So it means they're not going to be able to kind of protest effectively against legislation that they don't want to come in the EU. This is a genuine thing. It's not a conspiracy theory. So remember what I said, that Pluto in Capricorn can also deal with the consolidation of power. Pluto is about power, but think of the word plutocracy, which is to be controlled by a very, very, very small elite. Then the Pluto is the atom bomb. And if you think of the atom bomb, it's a tiny, tiny, small piece of uranium, enriched uranium, that goes what? Kaboom. So there is that energy in the world of people, small groups of people trying to control masses. And that's, you know, just look at the world. Anyone objectively can look at that. We can see that with big companies as well, you know, Amazon, or, you know, oh God, even in YouTube a little bit, I'll just whisper that one. You know, there's these huge forces, but we see it politically as well. The GOP, of course, is the most obvious, but it's happening everywhere. It's an energy. Anyway, what does this say about Europe, about the rest of Europe and the EU? Let's have a look. Very good question. Europe and the EU. Oh, I forgot to read my funny quotes. And I'll ask Shakespeare what he thinks of Melei. I won't read on the new Dutch guy because I don't know anything about him. Interesting. Wow. Okay. All right. Here we go. What does this mean for the wider EU? Legalities. There's going to be a lot of legal struggles coming up for the EU, particularly those that want to essentially remove the veto, which it's just a bad idea. Yeah, you got to remember, like, the EU is made up of 27 member states, and they vote collectively on a whole range of issues: treaties, trade agreements, food standards, medicine, so many things, budgets. So imagine what will happen if member states have their veto removed. It means they're not going to be able to protest. That means there could be a plutocracy, effectively, that could make these executive decisions. Yeah, because look, here we see the King of Swords, which is about the executive decisions, but it's also about legalities and stuff like that. So this suggests to me maybe kind of troubled waters a bit ahead for the EU, because each country is going to want to assert its sovereignty in regards to how decisions are being made. Yeah, very much the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords are about legalities, decisions being made, etc., that kind of thing. So, but I think this is going to be on a state-by-state basis. I'm not saying that the Europe is just going to fall apart, but I think there's going to be a lot more legal challenges, a lot more stances, a lot of people getting their swords out and wanting to defend what they see as their sovereignty or their right to a veto, which, you know, makes sense, really. I'm not trying to judge it too much, but just objectively. Anyway, Knight of Cups has turned up in the obstacle position. So we know what this can be about. What? Seduction. Yeah, the Knight of Cups in when is the right way up has a lot to do with romance, seduction, charming. Yeah. The seductive messages. Yeah, this is like the knight in shining armor. Yeah, but this is also the knight of shining armor that can leave you with child, get out of stage left, and you're left raising the baby. But it's turned up in the obstacle position. So what this suggests to me is that a lot of the rhetoric around the EU and stuff like that, in terms of what it stands for, has been incredibly seductive. Now look, I voted to remain, yeah, because it was a pragmatic decision. We do, in the UK, we do 40% of our business at least with the EU. So getting out of it was like a 40% pay cut. However, the messaging has started to change. And it's maybe not looking as quite seductive as it did before. And this could talk about here, this sharpness coming into Europe, where people are beginning to question what? The narrative, which has kind of changed in some way because it's becoming the obstacle position. Yeah. However, the bonds of business and, you know, and collectivity will still be prominent because, of course, the Queen of Wands is about passion. But as you know, I associate the Wands with entrepreneurship. And the Queen of Wands is a very entrepreneurial card, but it's very much about the the hostess with the mostess, in a way, bringing all these different factions together. So, of course, the EU is still going to stay together as a business bloc. Yeah. But remember the black cat. This is talking about intuition as well. So there might be a level of introspection here that's not been here before. They'll obviously try and maintain the balance. Yeah. But this could be a tricky one. Yeah. And ultimately, I think they're going to rally around what? The big coin, you know, around the big money. So big money has an impact on this as well, a big impact on the future of the EU. So they're probably going to stay together for financial reasons, but there is going to be tension. Yeah, there's going to be tension. Oh, I think I've got just enough time to read on Javier Melei, and then I'm going to have to end it there. I'll have to squeeze in these questions another time. All right. Oh, look at that. Do you see that? The card has just leapt out. Javier Melei. Look. Oh, dear. 3 of Swords. That's not good, is it? One thing I'll say is this. My heart genuinely really goes out to the Argentine people. They have been suffering now for years with very high inflation. Last tally says their inflation is hovering around about 150%. Yeah. You know, eyes are watering in America at the 4% inflation right now. We've got 6.5% or something like or thereabouts in the UK. Imagine 150%. Just almost unimaginable. And of course, he's coming in with all of these radical policies. Remember, this is also the guy that said you can sell your organs and all of that kind of stuff. Well, let's see what the energy is around Melei. And the sense I get is that because of years of corruption and decadence, which I think is a fair critique, the people have had enough and they are desperate. 40% of them are living in poverty. Yeah, 40% of the country, when Argentina used to be one of the richest countries in the world once upon a time. So let's see what's going on. Javier Melei. Oh, and someone else asked on Melei. Here we are. Dear HoGaLe, would love to know how it will all develop in Argentina. Jesus, what happened there with the chainsaw guy? I can't believe it. I'm in shock. And that's from Manuela Orchid. And this was Teresa Cosgrove. So let's just see Malei's impact. Well, my little nickname for him is Malaise, isn't it? Almost don't want to laugh, actually, because who knows where this will go. And apparently he wants to pull out of BRICS. And he wants to dollarize the economy. And I'm quite surprised at that, because the BRICS could have given him potentially a way out. But let's see. Oh, look, the poverty card is back again. Was that the 3rd time this evening? Oh my gosh. You saw me shuffling, guys, didn't you? You saw me shuffling. Look at that. Right, this is extraordinary. Look how many cards have come back. So this is the card that fell out, yeah? I think this is heartbreak maybe for the world. But I think this is really talking about the Argentine people. They are so fed up. They are so fed up of everything. The high prices, the exhaustion, the poverty. And even though they know that this guy is cray-cray, yeah, he's even called that madman. But it shows the level of desperation in the country that they're like, screw it. I'm going to pick a madman. I just hope he doesn't implement all of the things that he says. But it shows here the great suffering of the people. And does this mean this is more suffering to come? We have to see. We look here, 10 of Wands. Oh dear, yeah. A lot of work, a lot of hard work. You can see here the wands are not being carried efficiently to turn the economy around. Regardless of how radical Melei is going to be really difficult because they're really in a stuck between a rock and a hard place. The obstacle position is the Chariot. The Chariot's normally about what? Moving forward boldly with a new vision, going out there, getting stuff done. Of course, this can mean what? Stagnation, the opposite. Maybe the economy, maybe the world is not going to respond well to what's going on. Could the situation potentially get worse? When we look here, maybe it can, because I think for the 3rd time tonight, the poverty card has come out again. This is actually talking about the situation in Argentina and why I think the people are so desperate, because they're dealing with what? Poverty. You can't have 40% of the population in poverty. And they say 10% are in abject poverty. So they really are struggling. This is why they've gone for it. Now, here we are, Page of Swords back. Again, this can be what? An aggressive message. This is also dealing with what? The youth. He used social media a lot to get his message across. Many of the youth have come out in support of him, but it's broadly across the country. We need to understand it wasn't even close, guys. It wasn't even close. I did worry. I did think, I can't remember if I said it or not, but I did think Milei would get in because just reading the energy of Argentina. But here it is quite literally here. So the youth vote was a big part of it as well. But this is also people wanting to hold a knife to the establishment, hold a sword to the establishment. And we're going to have legal things running backwards and forwards, up and down, back to front, and all sorts. So he may face a lot of legal challenges or a lot of difficulty perhaps getting his ideas implemented. Yeah. So at the moment, he wants to get rid of the Department for tourism and women's rights and environment and stuff like this. Lena was telling me that apparently he wants the Falklands back. So do you see, we're in this very kind of bizarre and strange situation. So we'll have to see. Right, I'm gonna have to wrap it up there. Thank you so much, Foggy, for your donation. Let me just read through the last comments before I go. Gosh, an hour is never enough, isn't it? Oh yeah, someone's saying here, Milei says he wants closer ties to the US, supports Ukraine, and wants nothing to do with Russia, China, Brazil, or BRICS. So maybe that's something positive. We'll have to see. I was surprised he actually said that. But he's a mixed bag, and that's, I think, a part of only time will tell. Only time will tell. And I don't actually even want to actually go too crazy on Milei just yet. I've run out of time to do the Shakespeare, but the Argentine people are hurting. They've picked him for a reason, and it's because they are so fed up of what's gone before. They feel they have no choice, and I feel when a nation is that desperate, I feel more compassion towards them. It's still very early days yet. We'll have to see what he can and can't implement. I certainly hope he cannot implement the selling of organs, because guess what? Your kidneys don't grow back. You can only sell, one kidney. You certainly can't sell your liver because you'll die. Who knows where this will go? So I'm going to try and pause on judgment for a minute until I learn a bit more about Milei, even though he's, like, for me, he kind of makes Trump look like a figure skater. Do you know what I mean? I mean, brandishing his bloody, chainsaw, and the hair is just mad. The face is even more, whatever. But those are more superficial things. I don't know enough about him yet. We don't know enough about him. He's only just come into power. Let's see what happens. Can he balance the books? Apparently he is an economist, but he's also a TV personality, and he's certainly a maverick and a strange one. So we have to keep our eyes peeled. But my thoughts and prayers go to Argentina, and I just hope that they can turn their situation around, because 150% inflation is just disgraceful, isn't it? Nobody wants that. Anyway, thank you so much for everyone for joining me this evening. Of course, you'll next see me on Saturday on the next HoGaLe. Please check out as well my Yuga's cycle. Many of you have found that very interesting, the development of human consciousness and where we're going, why we got the situation that we have now. And of course, if you'd like a consultation with me, then please follow the video description. And I'm still offering my 25% offer is still there. You use Crimbo25 at the checkout. It's all there. November sold out, December sold out. But yes, there are spaces in January and February, of course. So take advantage of it, particularly as Christmas is coming up. As you know, this is my way of giving back. It's my kind of tithe for the year. So thank you, everyone. I hope you found that interesting. Very eclectic tonight, wasn't it? Great questions. Thank you for your questions. And I will see all of you on HoGaLe. What else? So some people saying, happy Thanksgiving, y'all. Thank you. Interesting show tonight, Teresa says. Thank you. Oh, HoGaLe, Tucker Carlson was in Argentina helping him. Oh, God, that's hardly a good sign, is it? And let's just see here. And we've got a thank you here as well. So thank you. I will see you guys soon. Have a very happy Thanksgiving. Stuff yourself to bursting. And I hope you chillax and relax. And many of you will be catching this video likely tomorrow or in the coming days. Mwah! Big love. And I'll see you guys on HoGaLe on Saturday coming. All right. Bye-bye for now.